Hey, Jarek here, and this is the Dart Zone Vulcanator. Yep, a double top-loading magazine full auto flywheel dart blaster. Now, I actually came across this totally coincidentally when a friend of mine needed to stop by Target really quick or something while we were hanging out. I don't even remember what she needed, but I saw this on the shelf and it briefly caught my eye, but I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, well, that looks pretty neat with a weird double top magazine, but the store brand blasters aren't generally fantastic, so I just kind of ignored it. And then later I thought to myself, wait, if this has two mags on top and it's based off Nerf mags, then it should be able to take anything. I didn't know what it was called, so I just Googled top-loading Nerf magazine, and this was one of the first things that showed up. Lo and behold, Xfox and Dr. Flux has already made a video of this. Not really surprising, but I don't know, it just somehow this got through my subscriptions. I didn't see it, I had no idea this existed, and it's very rare that a commercially available, like, non-hobbyist blaster just makes me giggle like an idiot. It's got your typical dart blaster plastic. It doesn't feel incredibly brittle, but also doesn't feel like it would be able to handle you running it over or something of the like. Overall, it's fine. It comes with this optic on top, which isn't necessarily terrible, but also isn't the best thing in the world either. It also comes with a standard Nerf stock attachment. This lets me get a little closer. There you go, now you can really see the optic. Yeah, honestly, you're probably better off just taking this thing off and looking down the bore or putting something else on there. But yeah, you can put any stock attachment you want on here. This is a worker stock and it fits on there just fine. With that said, I actually really like the default stock this thing comes with. If I can get this off, there we go, it's kind of stuck on there. This thing is about the perfect length. I like to generally get up close to my blasters, even with my long arms. And as a whole, this blaster is extremely comfortable. That actually surprised me quite a lot. The thinner foregrip up front, there's nothing down here to get in the way. If you wanted to go prone, no matter how much ammo you got in this, no matter how big the magazine is, it won't get in the way. This thing is extremely comfortable. I can't stress that enough. It requires 6 AA's and a battery tray in the back. You just unscrew here and pop off a piece. I'm not going to bother opening it. I mean, you've seen plenty of stuff like this, but there is plenty of space in there if you want to mod it to take lipos instead. It has a typical rev trigger and it takes a little while to rev up, but it's not egregiously slow. And yes, it is fully automatic. Now, if you look at it from the front, it looks like it would fire 2 darts at once, but that is not the case. It empties out one magazine and then swaps to the other. And that's actually probably the best way to do this. Say, for example, you're at a game and you empty out this magazine and have a little bit of time, well, just go ahead and take that one out and top off, and there you go, you're ready to keep shooting. The one thing I will say about the magazine situation is that in both of the videos from Dr. Flux and Xfox, they said this piece comes off very easily. I don't know if they made a little bit of changes, but this is actually more secure than I expected. And out of the box, it will come like this. There's a piece like this on each side that simply clicks into place. With that said, even though I feel like it wouldn't come off if you just kind of like shake these around, even with heavy drum mags, if you try to take cover behind a tree or something or snag it on your gear, you absolutely can and will just do that. So do keep that in mind, and if you want this to be more secure, I actually would not recommend gluing it, because this is also how you can unjam it if you happen to have any jams. Now, I didn't have any jams at all when I was using waffle heads, so I don't think that would be an issue, but if you want this to be more secure, I would actually recommend just go ahead and put up some duct tape on the top, maybe just one piece like this, then a few like that, and that should be more than secure enough. At the cost of a little bit of looks, but I don't think it'll hurt you too bad. Okay, so about the magazine situation. As I said, this will take any standard Nerf magazine, and that's the main gimmick of this. It is so amusing. That's the part that just makes me giggle. All right, so here is the Halo Nerf Assault Rifle magazine. Works in here perfectly fine. I actually really wish I had another one, because that actually looks pretty cool in a very silly, almost sci-fi way. Like, that's just kind of awesome. But if you want to go full silly, I mean, you gotta go completely all out. Let's get both these magazines out of here, and let's grab 2 of these. These are Blaster Parts 30 round drum magazines. Yeah, that's more like it. That's a lot of rounds. You got 60 darts sitting on your full auto blaster that you can just go ham with this thing. This is just... This is so stupid. I mean, look at this. I absolutely love it. The blaster itself is only $30 at Target, and that's a pretty good price for what this is. The drum mags combined were $55. Absolutely worth it. I will say though, if you want to run with these all day, it's gonna be a little heavier than your usual dart blaster. Nothing too crazy. Won't be a massive workout, but for a kid, it'd probably be a bit too heavy. The rate of fire isn't anything amazing, but it's also not slow. It is the respectable rate of fire that I can totally put up with. And when I chronoed this blaster, I wanted to be pretty thorough. I have quite a few full-length darts, so I wanted to test all of them. This blaster comes with 24 chili darts, just enough to fill both magazines. When I chronoed the chili darts and the Adventure Force Wafflehead darts, these both got pretty much the same exact performance, right around 90 FPS. They were by far the most consistent darts, so I would definitely recommend you use one of these two, or at least a Wafflehead of some sort. Next up, I tried just normal Nerf Elite darts, and these actually got roughly the same results. Then I decided to try Worker Gen 3s, and these were all over the place. I was getting some readings down in the 60s, I was getting some in the 70s, but 70s seemed to be average. It seemed to shoot not quite as hard. Then I went to try the Blaster Parts darts that came with the drum mag, and these are also pretty wildly inconsistent, but on the other end. I was getting readings into the 100s, sometimes around 110, which is crazy. That's a 20 FPS difference. But still, mostly it was around 90 FPS. But FPS means nothing if accuracy is terrible, so I also tried them out just shooting down my hallway. Now I have a slew of darts I want to try out. These first two are Adventure Force Waffleheads and the chili darts that this blaster comes with. I don't know which one of these mags is going to fire first, but I know both these darts work perfectly fine, and I'm pretty sure they have roughly the same performance, so I'm just going to mag dump both of them at once, and if one has better performance or worse, we should be able to see. Probably the same. If anything, the chili darts were a little less accurate. I want to run that back. Let's do that again. I'm even going so far as to put the chili darts on this side and Adventure Force Rose on this side, so swapping them around. I'm not going to change for accuracy at all. I'm just firing at a fixed location, and that should be able to give us the best grouping or best idea of the grouping you would get. Okay, yeah, my first assumption is right. These give pretty much the same performance. I've actually noticed, I think the left magazine is a little less accurate. I noticed the last few shots on this one kind of veered off to the right, no matter what dart was in, but for the most part, they have the same exact performance. Next up is standard Nerf End Strike darts out of the Halo magazine, which works in this perfectly fine. Only 10 rounds fit in this. It's not a 12-round mag, but toolless darts, whatever, not a big deal. And yeah, to be expected, these are way less accurate, but they do shoot, so if you have a surplus of them, they will work. Next up are Worker Gen 3s. Do not worry, I'm not going to load up the whole magazine. I don't want to be here all day. I've only loaded 12 into this, so that's gonna, actually that'll block your view. Let's go ahead and put this over here. Now, I'm actually expecting these to not be terribly accurate. Worker Gen 3 full-length darts seem to be a little weird in some blasters, but let's just see. Wow, that one actually didn't even work. It just straight up jammed up. Okay, there's nothing in here. It just kind of got a little munched inside of the magazine. Let's try again. Yeah, a lot of those darts were firing to the right. I'm gonna do that another time. By the way, I know this is not the intended purpose. I mean, usually waffleheads are the best for flywheelers, but I'm a curious man. I just want to see. All right, let's try again. Yep. Jammed up once again. Maybe it's the magazine, but it's probably the darts. Let's swap magazines just out of curiosity's sake. All right, regular magazine. Yeah, So the lesson we learned there is actually that Worker Gen 3s don't like 30-round drum magazines, or at least the full-length Worker Gen 3s don't like them. And with the regular mags, they work fine, although they were very inaccurate. I don't know if the camera was able to pick that up, but they were going all over. Moral of the story, wall-fed darts are best in flywheelers. What a big surprise. I do have one more dart I want to try. These are the darts that actually came with this drum mag. These are the blaster parts darts. They're basically clones of Nerf End Strike darts, but seem to be higher quality. At first I thought they had plastic tips. They don't. They're squishy. So let's just try them. So they don't jam, but they're also very much so not accurate. Once again, moral of the story is just stick to your waffle-head darts. To no one's surprise, they work the best in this flywheeler. Okay, so what do I think of this thing? Well, for a $30 flywheeler, 90 FPS is more than good enough, and so is its rate of fire. The gimmick of putting 2 magazines on top, along with this being incredibly comfortable, I would absolutely recommend it. This thing is just awesome for what it is. Yeah, you're not going to be beating Worker Phoenix 2.0s or most 3D printed blasters, but I mean, come on. Can they put 2 different 30-round drum mags on the top of their gun? Like, come on, that's worth it. The only thing I wish I could do is somehow have a separate mode that allows me to fire 2 darts at once, even if it would be a little less practical. Like, imagine firing 2 darts at once with 2 drum mags. Like, that would just be pretty amusing. Not too many blasters do it. I do know the Chelsea Ray exists, although I'm finding it pretty hard to actually purchase it online. I know you can buy it from Frontline Foam, but if you buy it from Frontline Foam, it won't come with the lights, which it's just not the full package without the lights. So if anyone knows where I can get one of those, with the lights, of course, sure to tell me in the comments. Anyway, I'm sure you just want to see this thing shooting, so I'm gonna stop rambling and let's shoot it.